Okay, so I had a rather furious debate with a friend of mine. The debate was as follows. Which out of the many characters in A Song of Ice and Fire has had the most impact on the world? In the end, it came down to two, as it always does. And these two were, surprise, Varus and Littlefinger, the eunuch and the moneylender. And the more I thought about it, the more I saw how polar opposite they are, yet oddly similar. Varus is shunned, Littlefinger is welcomed. Both trade in the two most valuable commodities in the Seven Kingdoms. Varus, secrets, and Littlefinger, gold. Both have done pretty well for themselves considering their beginnings. Both want to rule behind their respective puppet, king or queen. But it is the reasons they want to rule that is the most perplexing. Varus indicates a strong desire to serve the greater good. Littlefinger only serves himself. A classic example of this is the elaborate scheme that Tyrion hatched to find Cersei's informant in the Small Council, Book 2. Upon revealing the scheme, Littlefinger is rather hostile towards Tyrion, whereas Varus is more intrigued. Why? Well, Varus is always looking to recruit more people to his cause. But Littlefinger, he knows he's at a disadvantage if he's not the smartest person in the room. He has also showed this with Eddard Stark in the first book, in a sense of his constant belittling and warning against Varus. He knows that Varus could be his greatest undoing. I use could be because, well, Varus is cautious. He's the kind of man not to pull a move in the open, at least not for the sake of exposure. Why? Because unlike Littlefinger, he is not the sole gainer of his plots. He has people depending on his success. And also, given his work, mistrust is a basic response to him. Therefore, he is very careful not to feed the fire. If anything goes wrong, people automatically assume it was Varus. Not so much with Littlefinger. So in the end, the argument came down to which would you rather be? The hated one with a grand idea of morality, or the one who's out for himself, but is likable? On the surface, the choice seems rather easy. But if one looks on the surface in A Song of Ice and Fire, well, you're going to have a bad time. Littlefinger is playing the short game. I would not be surprised if a lot of his schemes and plans turn out to be spontaneous. Still, he is the mastermind behind the Stark versus Lannister war, the murdering of King Joffrey, and perhaps even the bankruptcy of the realm. Yes, you heard me correct. Think of it like this. During his reign as Master of Coin, the realm was in debt. However, everything ran smoothly. The banks were paid on time, and Littlefinger could conjure new funds out of thin air. It was a grand puppet show, with glass-stringed puppets. And with Littlefinger as the master, it worked. However, I believe that Littlefinger designed it to fall without his guidance. Because he knew, when he left his post, he did not intend to return. And if the realm could not pull itself out of debt, the easier it would be to conquer. He is not without fault, however. The real spoke in his wheel is his uncanny ability to betray every ally he has had. The Lannisters, the Starks, Lacer Arryn, all fast friends. Why did he do this? Well, he needs to be in control. This is why he supports Sansa for queen, because she is the easiest to control. Ultimately, Littlefinger will die because of this, if or when he realizes, too late, that he is not in control. Varus is on the opposite end. He has no control, or at least does not crave control. He is, and has always been, the spy, the saboteur, and his plan has spanned years. He, however, sees the value in other people, whereas Littlefinger would only see obstacles or pawns. Varus is not afraid to recruit others to his aid. This is why he has never betrayed or killed anybody, unless it is for the purpose of self-preservation or for the good of his plan. Ultimately, Varus is in a greater position over Littlefinger, because unlike Littlefinger, he has a safety net in case the worst could happen. This is in the form of his allies. Varus is playing for the long game, and it is yet unknown the extent of his devotion to his cause. I believe he could sacrifice himself for what he would consider the greater good of the realm. But what do you think? Who do you think is the better player out of these two? Or do you have a third option? be sure to comment. Thank you for watching. If you liked me, please be sure to hit that lovely button in the corner. If you loved me, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. This is the Mad Hatist, signing off. Cheerio!